Good morning, everyone. Today, let us continue the discussion regarding the antenna parameters. We have already covered a few of the parameters. We started with what is an antenna, what is about microwave engineering and radar engineering, both. Then we started with the antenna parameters, power density we have completed, then patterns, okay, in specific radiation patterns we have completed. We have seen certain basic equations also in both and few patterns also. Then we covered a beam width, that is omega A, and based on the beam width and HPBW, half power beam width, and BWFN, beam width between first nerves. We have covered based on these two parameters few problems. This was the last problem which we dealt. Then let us continue the next antenna parameter, that is radiation intensity. Okay? You have heard this word intensity. Okay? Intensity, what does that imply? Can anybody just we'll have a discussion. What is intensity? You have even studied this intensity in electromagnetics also, electric field intensity. So what is this intensity? What is intensity? You can just unmute and answer, no problem. Strength, energy, concentration. Okay. Any other answer? Yes, no doubt it is a strength, how much strength that particular value which is associated with intensity has. For example, electric field intensity, how much strength that particular electric field is having. Similarly, here if you see, the associated word is radiation. So whenever an antenna radiates the power, that power is in the form of electric and magnetic fields, of course, how much strength those materials are, those parameters have, that signifies, that specifies the radiation intensity. If you see, just imagine your battery, a torch light, when you switch on, how it looks like, how the pattern looks like. Just a second, somebody has answered, let me see that and I'll continue. The quality or being condition intense. Okay, this definition I am unable to understand, but probably a dictionary meaning of intensity is this only. But let us try to make the things simpler. So intensity is the strength, how much strength that particular thing has. I was telling about the battery torch. If this is your torch, assume this is the mouth of that. At the center, I'm talking about the old torch, okay? Centrally, you will be having a small bulb. When you switch on, it radiates, the light gets spread, okay? Probably it covers certain area. Now, how you will measure the intensity? If you just compare the overall area, at the center the intensity is more. That is, at the center the force with which light comes, that lights it's very brighter at the center. And as you just see here, when you just go beyond this at the surrounding, the intensity, the light, the illumination, what you call, it is less brighter. So this is how we can just connect what is radiation intensity. Assume that the light coming is radiation. So intensity is how much it is strong. So it obviously, if you observe the torch center point, it is strong, and as you just go beyond this, okay, the strength decreases. This is how we measure the intensity for the light in case of torch. If I give you a common example, if you have a thread, okay, which is available at your home, probably you stitch clothes, that is a thread. If you try to tie one end with a small rock, okay, now what is the intensity of this particular thread? How will you decide? It depends on the weight of the rock. How much weight it can carry, that signifies, that specifies the strength of that thread or rope. So the weight of that material which it is holding, that will give you the strength of that particular rope. So this is about the intensity. Now let us define it in a proper manner. Yes, radiation intensity. The power radiated from an antenna per unit solid angle. So we have seen what is this unit solid angle. Okay, if certain radiation is coming out of the antenna, this particular angle we call it the solid angle or beam solid angle or beam width, whatever. Okay, so the power radiated when it is covering certain area, the amount of power radiated, it will give you the radiation intensity. The symbol used for radiation intensity is generally U. Okay, capital U signifies radiation intensity. Now we have already seen in case of the second antenna parameter, that is the patterns, the how to the formula used for normalized power pattern. Okay, that is P suffix N. This is equal to, we have already seen this. S is the power density or the Poynting vector. The actual value divided by the maximum value will give you the normalized power pattern. Now we can also define the power pattern in terms of radiation intensity. How? The radiation intensity of a particular antenna when it is radiating divided by the maximum radiation intensity of that antenna will give you the normalized power pattern of an antenna. So we can express the power in terms of either Poynting vector, power density or radiation intensity. One important thing to observe is when we were discussing about the power density or the Poynting vector, that is E cross H, we have seen that. In that, I think you have this E square by something, 120 pi. We have seen this already, that is 377. In this, we have observed that the S is dependent on the distance, means Poynting vector or the power density depends on the distance from the antenna. How? E is again in terms of what? Probably the distance. I have forgotten the formula. Probably you can try relating it. Try to substitute some value wherein you will get that distance R or B. So that yes, the Poynting vector or the power density, it is directly, not directly, I don't know the relation. Depending on the formula, either it is directly proportional or inversely proportional. You try to find out the formula for E, which will replace E by some distance. Okay. This is one point. Power density or the Poynting vector is dependent on the distance. However, if you see the radiation intensity, it is independent of the distance. For example, when you are tying a rope, tying a rope with a rock, okay, or a thread with a small stone or a rock, the length of that rock will not, affect its strength. So the distance is independent. Only the weight of that stone or the rock which you have tied matters. Weight is the major part, not the distance. That's what it means. So these two are the important points to remember. If you just look at this figure, which we have already seen while dealing with a solid angle, and in spherical coordinate system, this is one end. If we consider a small portion, this is a three-dimensional view, it looks like a cap, birthday cap. Okay, this angle is your d omega, a small incremental value of the angle, and this is the center point. If you are considering the sphere, let me just draw this like the sphere. This indicates it is not looking like sphere. Just imagine this distance is r and this distance is d omega. So if this is the area considered, let me just clear it a bit. Okay. You assume this is not a circle, assume it's a sphere. Okay. So this is the radius from the center, d omega. So according to this, what is this area is equal to, or how you represent angle? For a sphere, this solid angle is given by ds by r square. ds is the area covered, that is one arc divided by, for sphere it is r square. If we would have been in a circle, what this equation would be? If you assume this is your theta and this is your distance r, and this arc, say some arc is a. So how you define a theta? Theta is equal to arc. Sorry. Yes. A by r, arc by radius. Yeah. So how in the similar manner, if we try to apply here for a three-dimensional sphere, arc is replaced with the area and distance r has been replaced with r square. Maybe the parameter, this you might have studied while dealing with this sphere concept. What is the volume of the sphere? What is the circumference? Volume and circumference and area. So that you might have studied this. It's a very basic mathematics. Why it is a ds by r square? Why not r? That you can please try to understand through the Google. Okay? Yes. Yes, any doubt? I think Archana is speaking or Akshata is speaking. So what is the area of this sphere? 4 pi r square. Why it is 4 pi? Because by some experimentation, the Archimedes has found out that this spherical, if you consider a sphere, its area will be 4 times this radius. So area of the circle is pi r square. If you take for sphere, it is 4 pi r square. And denominator radius r square. So what is the d omega, the solid angle? It is equal to 4 pi. 4 pi for a sphere. So this is the basic. Now, if you see, if you look at the basic definition of radiation intensity, if you look at the definition of radiation intensity, it states that the power radiated from an antenna per unit solid angle. So according to the definition, let's write the radiation intensity U is equal to the power radiated is W suffix R, radiated power, power is in watts. So radiated power, why I have taken D? Because incremental value. Then after that you apply it for the whole sphere. Now taking a small portion, it is dWr divided by the solid angle, that is incremental, smaller value of the solid angle. So according to this equation, just do certain modifications. dW will be equal to U into d omega. This is a small portion radiated power if you consider a small part like this. Okay. Now, if you want the total radiated power for an antenna, just integrate this equation. So dW will be equal to what? dWr, if you integrate, you will get total radiated power WR, which is, as we are considering the spherical coordinate system, surface integral you have to take, double integration, U of d omega. Then we have just now arrived at this, d omega is equal to 4 pi. So substitute that, WR will be equal to U, keep it as it is. If you apply this integration to this particular, the total angle will be 4 pi. So W by 4 pi is equal to U. Important equation to remember. In the next concept, when we are dealing with some problems on radiation intensity, you make use of this formula. Radiation intensity is equal to WR by 4 pi. So this is about the radiation intensity. Radiation intensity of an antenna, it is measured with respect to isotropic antenna. What is this isotropic? Iso means same. So any antenna which radiates uniformly in all directions. Okay, and its efficiency, it is 100%, no losses, nothing. So that is called isotropic antenna, and practically isotropic antenna does not exist. It's a hypothetical antenna, imaginary antenna. So when it is just like what? When you are calculating the percentage, you divide your total marks, the total marks will be in the numerator, denominator will be that parameter, right? The total, if you are writing the exams for some 800 marks, divided by that 800. So some standard is there, 800, 100%. So depending on that, you calculate your percentage. Similarly, in order to get the radiation intensity, we measure it with respect to isotropic antenna. Assume that isotropic is 100%. So denominator will be 100%. Whatever value you get for radiation intensity, that will be its efficiency. Excuse me for a second. Okay, let's continue. This is about the radiation intensity. Now coming to the next antenna parameter, that is beam efficiency. It is again efficiency, it's a very known term to you. Efficiency is a measure of what? How you define efficiency in common terms. Can anybody? How will you define efficiency? Don't look at the screen. It's totally, you don't understand this at once if you look. Efficiency in a very common term, how will you define? You can just unmute and answer. Benefit, okay. Any other? Efficient. Anybody? Benefit is one answer I got.
Maximum productivity.
Maximum productivity. Maximum you leave it because we don't know whether it is maximum or minimum. We can call it a productivity, or in general, it's a very day-to-day life term used for efficiency is performance. Okay, so efficiency is directly related to the performance. आपका performance अच्छा होगा, efficiency अच्छी है. Yeah. So now, in terms of antenna, how we can define the efficiency? In the previous parameters, we have seen that this beam solid angle and radiation intensity, these are the major factors. And whenever antenna radiates, it will be in terms of power and electromagnetic waves or the electric field strength. So for this, beam is very important. Whatever the radiation we get and the pattern, that pattern, this you have already seen, okay, like this, something like this we have already seen while dealing with the beam width. So in this pattern, these parts, these structures play a very important role. This will give you the idea of how the radiations are distributed and how much power is distributed in which direction. So this is the basic parameter which will give you all these details. So efficiency we relate it to beam here in case of antennas. Now how can you define efficiency? It is the total beam area omega A, the total beam area omega A consists of how many lobes are there here? This is your major lobe, and just to try to recall the diagram, I'll show you one more time. These are the side lobes and this is your minor lobe or back lobe. Okay, so all together will be having the beam area. Total beam area omega A has got all these parts. So here in general, we have seen, we have just defined it that beam area consists of major lobe beam area, that is omega suffix capital M. Capital M represents major lobe, this bigger part. And also the minor lobe beam area, omega suffix small m. Capital M major lobe, small m minor lobe. Generally, minor lobe you can just take all together. Okay. So in equation we can write it like this. Sum of both will give you this. Now the ratio of major lobe beam area, that is omega suffix capital M, to the total beam area. What is total beam area? It is omega A, is called beam efficiency epsilon capital M. Yeah, this is called beam efficiency. It is just like calculating your percentage. The total area, that is 100% what you call, it is this. In that, how much marks you secure is omega M. So omega M divided by omega A will give you your percentage. So here it will give you beam efficiency. This is the one factor. Now we have one more term here, omega small m also. Minor lobe area is also there. So the ratio of minor lobe area to the total beam area is called stray factor. Stray factor, that is epsilon small m. Capital M is beam efficiency, small m is stray factor. So that when you add these two, you will get 1. You have studied ITC, right? Information Theory and Coding. Can you relate this efficiency term and stray term to any term which you have studied in ITC? Yes? You can unmute and answer, no problem. No one answered. Okay, I got one answer. Let's see. Yes, very good. Efficiency and redundancy, which you have already studied in ITC. So efficiency, it is beam efficiency, and redundancy is stray factor, so that when you add both you will get 100%. Okay, it is just like if you have obtained 600 marks, if you for say some 800 marks, that is the maximum marks. So 600 by 800 will give you some percentage. Assume that you will get some 80%. Then the remaining 200 marks, 200 divided by 800 will give you 20%. So that 80 plus 20 you will get 100%. Okay, so just try to remember this. So these are the two antenna parameters we studied: radiation intensity and beam efficiency. Let us move to the next parameter, that is directivity. You know, if I just take this directivity in a very common term, that is normal terms, day-to-day life, the focus, how much focused that particular radiation is having. Battery torch, centrally it will be very much focused and spreaded surrounding in all directions, whatever area covers. So that is directivity. If this is the mouth of the torch, at the center the directivity will be maximum, and if spreaded in all other directions. So it is what? The focus, how much strong, the strength at the center. For battery torch, centrally directivity will be more. So how will you define directivity? It is that denoted by capital D. I forgot to write here. The directivity of an antenna is equal to the ratio of power density, that is a P theta phi, or sometimes you use S also, that is power density and Poynting vector, maximum power density to its average value. When you divide over a sphere, maximum power density divided by the average value of the power density, you will get the directivity. This is the definition. Now let's try to get some equation for directivity. For that, let us keep this as it is, P theta phi maximum. Okay? And just try to remember equation where you have got this P theta phi max. Let me just show you. I'm not finding it. I'm not finding it. Let's continue. I will just show you where it is. Probably here. Radiation intensity. Okay, let's continue the discussion and show you. So in order to find the equation for directivity, we have two terms here. One is numerator and denominator. This don't touch it, because somewhere we will get equation containing maximum. So that during that time we will make use of it. Denominator, let us try to modify. Denominator says the average power density, okay, that too over the sphere, spherical coordinate system. So P theta phi of average is equal to what? How you calculate the average of 10 different numbers. Those 10 numbers, you add them, okay, say some 100 value you get. In order to find the average, you divide it by that 10. So here also, when you are considering the sphere, you know that solid angle for a sphere is 4 pi. That's why when you get some numerator value, divide it by 4 pi. Overall sphere, and it's a spherical coordinate system, theta is 0 to pi and phi is 0 to 2 pi. Okay, 0 to 180 degrees, 0 to 360 degrees. P theta phi and d omega. D omega is sin theta, d theta, d phi. While dealing with the beam width, we have seen this. So 1 by 4 pi as it is. This again, I will just simply write it over 4 pi, or you can just repeat the same, no problem. This Pn theta phi, I have substituted d omega. So this is the equation we get for average value of the power density. Let us substitute this here. Directivity formula. So directivity is equal to numerator as it is, denominator I have substituted 4 pi. This you can elaborate theta and phi and write, no problem. Then this denominator of the denominator comes to numerator 4 pi. Then surface integral. This as it is I have kept. Numerator I have taken it to the denominator of the denominator. Again it is same. This it will go to the numerator and the same value you will get. So denominator of the denominator is numerator. Again you will get this back. So this is the ratio we get. Now let us try to substitute. Let us try to substitute for this. What this signifies? This is the Pn theta phi. Normalized value is the power density. Earlier I did not get because it was in terms of S. Here we have taken the symbol P. That's why I didn't get. So this ratio, okay, this ratio is the normalized value. So just what this complete equation indicates afterwards, 4 pi as it is. This equation is for beam area omega A. I'll just show you both the things. You will get it. This is one we have seen just now. Okay, is nothing but omega A, and one more value. Yes, here as it was in terms of S, I could not find out. We have used the term P, right? So the ratio of the value divided by the maximum will give you the normalized pattern. So both the references I have given you. So this is the equation for directivity. Important relation. Relation between directivity and beam width. This is the relationship. They are inversely related. Well, it is very understandable also. If this is the area, focus, how much it is focused, it depends on this area also. If this mouth is smaller and if your beam width is very small, more focused value you will get. If it is spreaded in all directions, less focused at the center, because the radiation or the light gets spread out. So the more gets spread out, lesser strength the value will be having. So both are inversely related. So this is about the directivity, capital D. I hope you have understood. Probably we don't have the time. Let us continue the remaining another 1 or 2 parameters. I still have to cover this, of course. I will cover this continuation part of the directivity in the next session. You can just read it out. The smaller the beam area, larger, inversely related. For an antenna, no doubt I will take it because it cannot be taken in a hurry. I will continue this in the next session. I will message regarding the next session timing. I hope you have understood. Any doubts you can ask me. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you have understood. I hope you have understood today's class. 3 parameters we have discussed: radiation intensity, beam efficiency, and directivity. Okay, so we will continue today itself the second session. Thank you so much.